EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Radyo Agila is a proud member of the KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Time check, it's 10 p.m. Philippine Standard Time.
Narito ang mga bagong balitang nakalap ng Radyo Agila sa nakalipas na oras. Radyo Agila, Balita Update.
Kumuha tayo ng update ukol sa canvassing ng Kongreso. Nasa linya po ng ating komunikasyon si Agila 8, Mean Corbera. Mean?
Umaabot na sa 100 at siyam na Certificate of Canvass ang nabilang ng National Board of Canvassers para sa mga boto sa kandidato sa Pangulo at pangalawang Pangulo ng bansa. Kabilang sinabilang ngayong gabi ang boto mula sa Basilan at Lanao del Norte na una nang inireklamo ni dating Basilan Congressman Jerry Salapodin na nagkaroon umano ng dayaan. Sa Basilang lamang si Congresswoman Leni Robredo na nakakuha ng mahigit 77,000 votes kumpara kay Senador Bongbong Marcos na may 32,326 votes. Mataas naman ang naitalang undervotes o walang ibinahong Vice President sa Lanao del Norte na umaabot sa 31,352. Sa latest official tally ng NDOC sa mga presidential balls, nangunguna si Davao Mayor Rodrigo Duterte na nakapagtala ng 13,839,802. Si Grace po 8,091,166. Maroha 7,689,051. Jojo Binay 4,746,556. Miriam Defensor Santiago 1,349,788. At Roy Sienieres na 20,709. Sa mga vice presidential balls, nanguna naman si Senator Bongbong Marcos na may 12,633,317. Pangalawa, si Leni Robredo na 11,553,486. Pangatlo, si Alan Peter Cayetano, 4,903,346. Pangapat, si Senator Francis Escudero, 4,232,015. At panglima, si Senador Antonio Trillanes, 698,263. Si pang-anim, si Senador Gringo Honasan, na may 638,957. Alas 10 gabi inaasahang titigan na ang Joint Committee ng NDOC para ipagpatuloy naman ang pagbibilang hanggang bukas. Agila 8, Mean Corbera, Eagle.
Salamat Agila 8, Mean Corbera. Update pa rin ukol sa canvassing, Agila Jess, Madeline Villar. Mads?
Yes, at samantalang tinapos na ng Joint Canvassing Committee ng Kongreso ang ginagawang pagbilang sa mga boto para sa presidente at pagka-vice-presidente. Sa pagsasara ng Day 2 ng canvassing, nanguna sa pagkapangulo si Mayor Rodrigo Duterte at sa pagka-vice-presidente naman, nanguna ngayong araw si Senator Bongbong Marcos. Para sa partial official tally sa mga kandidato sa pagka-presidente, si Mayor Rodrigo Duterte ay nakakuha ng 15,140,495 votes. Sumunod sa kanya, si dating Secretary Mar Rojas na merong 9,057,359 votes. Sumunod si Senator Grace Po na merong 8,697,378 votes. Sumunod si Vice President Jejomar Binay na may 4,971,584 votes. Sumunod si Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago na may 1,398,278 votes. Panghuli si dating Congressman Roy Sienieres na mayroong 23,630 votes. Sa pagka-vice-presidente ay nanguna nga si Senator Bongbong Marcos na mayroong 13,214,810 votes. Sumunod si Congresswoman Lenny Robredo na may 13,131,330 votes. Sumunod si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano na may 5,546,631 votes. Sumunod si Senator Chis Escudero na may 4,639,594 votes. Sumunod si Senator Antonio Tagalianes Deport na may 794,814 votes. Panghuli si Senator Gringo Honasan na mayroong 695,593 votes. Nasa 114 certificate of conduct na ang nabilang hanggang ngayong araw. Dahil dyan, inaasahan na bukas ay kakayanin ng tapusin ng Kongreso yung ginagawa nilang canvassing. Dahil nasa 51 certificate of canvass na lang yung kanilang kinakailangan na bilangin. Una na natin na i-report kanina na sinabi ni Senator Coco Pimentel, yung chairman ng Senate Committee, na target nila makapagproklama ng nanalong presidente at vice-presidente ng araw ng Martes. Mula dito sa Kamara, Madeline Villar, Eagle News.
Salamat Agila Jess, Madeline Villar. Good evening Philippines, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening in the different parts of the world. Today is the 26th of May 2016 and this is another edition of Radyo Agila International. Tonight we will be joined by our Eagle News correspondents from Los Angeles, California. So without further ado, we would like to give you the Los Angeles Bureau of Eagle Broadcasting Corporation.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Time check, it's 10:15 p.m. Philippine Standard Time.
Ilang paalala mula kay Secretary Janet Petillo Loreto Garin ng Department of Health.
Hayaan ba natin may namamatay sa mga sakit na kayang iwasan ng pagpapabakuna? Siguraduhin may immunization card para kumpleto at tama ang schedule ng bakuna simula pagkapanganak. Proteksyon ang kumpletong bakuna sa kanya, sa iyo, sa buong bayan at sa darating pang henerasyon. Libre ito sa health center. Sama-sama nating itaguyod ang kalusugang pangkalahatan.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Eco-friendly ka ba at mahilig sa usapang pangkapaligiran? Health-conscious ka ba at mahilig sa usapang patungkol sa kalusugan? Isyong pangkapaligiran, isyong pangkalusugan at marami pang iba. Ating pag-usapan. Pinoy Scientist, tuwing linggo, alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng hapon, dito sa Radyo Agila. Pinoy Scientist.
Kumusta? Hodi? Minggala ba? Sabay di? Singkaw?
10 countries come together as one, building a better life and stronger economy for everyone. Learn about the culture and history of every region. Learn the importance of being an ASEAN citizen. Tune into ASEAN Hour. Sundays, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Radyo Agila. Be connected to the world and help build a safe community for everyone. ASEAN Hour.
Narito na ang programang sandalan ng mga naaapi, sumbungan ng mga naabuso, tumutugon, umaaksyon sa lahat ng panahon. Alagad ng batas, alagad ng batas, katarungan at serbisyong makatotohanan. Programang kakampi ninyo kontra namin. Alagad ng batas, alagad ng batas, katarungan at serbisyong makatotohanan. Mapapakinggan sa kanyang bagong araw at oras tuwing Biyernes, alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon, dito sa Radyo Agila. May integridad, tunay niyong mapagkakatiwalaan sa pagkahatid ng mga balita. Trusted and admired news anchor sa Radyo Agila. Congressman Angelo Palmones, Greg Arcinas, Jenso Bartiaga, Onin Miranda, Pipito Zamora Guerrero, Joey Dizon, Leander Denver Garcia, Joey Morales, Mark Vargas, at Laila Tumana. Mga personalidad na may integridad, maaasahan dahil mapagkakatiwalaan. Radyo Agila, pumapagaspaas sa buong bansa.
Nais niyo bang maunawaan ang mga isyong masalimuot, nasyonal man o panglokal? Ibig niyo bang malaman ang iba't ibang oportunidad sa negosyo at pangkabuhayan? Alam mo na ba ang pinakahuling balita at usap-usapan sa larangan ng sports? Ikaw ba ay may problemang legal? Narito na ang programang tutugon sa pangangailangan ng bayan upang makuha ang tamang impormasyon at kaalaman. Ito ang palatuntunang bawat panig ng mga usapin ay tatalakayin at bibigyang linaw. Narito na sila, ang Tropang Pista. Ang Tropang Pista.
Ikaw ba isang OFW na may katanungan tungkol sa mga benepisyong dapat makuha sa OWA, PhilHealth, SSS, Pag-ibig Fund at NRCO? Tumawag lamang o mag-text sa 0926-617-8082 o makinig tuwing Sabado alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi dito lamang sa Radyo Agila. Gabay ng OFW International with Tita Lou Medina.
Tunay na mahirap maglaan ng ekstrang panahon sa iyong busy schedule para makapag-exercise. Kaya nga, kami dito sa Radyo Agila ay may mungkahi kung paano makapag-exercise kahit ikaw ay abala sa work mo. Una, maglakad o magbike papunta sa trabaho sa halip na sumakay sa public transportation. Second, kung gusto, laging may paraan. Isang pangkalusugang mensahe mula sa Radyo Agila.
The guy who runs the UFC gym in Fullerton. Let's go inside and talk to him. Hello, I have with me is the guy who runs the UFC gym in Fullerton. And your name is? Billy Burke. And are you local? Am I right? I'm local. Yes, I'm from Orange County, but originally all over the world. I was a military brat growing up, 21 years of Japan, Philippines, countries all over the world. My father was in the Air Force for 21 years. Yeah, yeah. I know that. Yeah, it was a boxing gym. It was NLC boxing. Then it became LA boxing. Then it became UFC gym. So I've been here 5 years, 8 managers. Still here, still the head coach for the past 5 years. And the climate here? The climate is incredible. It's very mixed. It's not a whole bunch of fighters with no necks and tattoos beating each other up. We're about 50-50, 50% females and 50% males. And the environment's very good. Of course, we have our fighters, we have our jiu-jitsu, we have our Muay Thai, we have an incredible youth program for kids MMA. So it's pretty much mixed. The professional fighters, we train after 8 o'clock at night. And you have another background of martial arts. Yeah, I have an extensive background in martial arts. I was lucky enough in 2011 to be nominated into the Masters Hall of Fame for all martial arts masters. I have a black belt in Shotokan karate. I have a black belt in judo. I studied at Primo, Panama, Cali. A lot of Filipino arts. I studied under Grandmaster Kapoy Kenyete at House of Champions in Van Nuys. Arju Kempo is their style there, which is an offshoot of kind of Hawaiian Kempo that I have my 5th degree black belt in. And in Okinawan style, Kang Chuando, I have a 6th degree black belt. So I've been doing martial arts my whole life, since I was 4. Yes, absolutely. You got to keep learning. Every single day I keep learning more and more. And I want to share it. That's my passion. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Absorb what's useful. And how do you end up in martial arts in way back in I grew up in Japan. A little area called Orimuko, right outside of Tokyo. My dad was stationed at Yokohama Air Force Base, and I started judo, and then started Shotokan karate. So I started at the age of 2. Yes, yes. I love hitting people with sticks. It's so much fun. I was at House of Champions in Van Nuys, and this little old man that walked crooked and laughed a lot came in. We had a guy, Guru Anthony Freeman, who's the world heavyweight stick fighting champion, was at the gym teaching people. And Grandmaster Kapoy came in. He's like, 5'3", maybe 160 pounds. He beat this 300-pound heavyweight with the sticks like nothing, and then laughed at him after he beat him. I went, I have got to learn Filipino fighting arts. So, yes, yes. Over 11 years with Kakoy and Master Mark Mara at the House of Champions. Yeah, we trained there and just I fell in love with the stick. I like the knife much more, the Kali. Hung him up, the dirty boxing with the elbows and knees. I love all of that. So that's my love with that. And of course, started my love for Filipino food. Lechon, that's it. I mean, lechon, I love lechon. Yes, yes. With the alert? With Grimace Canete, I was a big fan. I trained with him. I'm a low member of his system, but the love for him, like a grandfather, father, is incredible. There are many masters under him, and I've worked with the number 2 guy with him, but he would come yearly to Van Nuys, California, and train, and just, he loved my family, my children, just, it's that Filipino heart he had that I fell in love with. Yeah, boy. But anyway, coming back to the coalition, I know that you have to kickboxing and professional karate, full contact karate. Did you get any at all? I was pretty good, but yeah, I also fought in Muay Thai overseas also. Yeah. And my passion is teaching. I love training people. Right now, I've got a guy that's a Bellator fighter, Curtis Millender. We call him Curtis Millender, and he's 8-3 right now. We have a fight coming up June 9th. So here in Costa Mesa, in Orange County. So we're getting ready for that. And also, after UFC, are you working for UFC or UFC? No, working for UFC. This is a franchise location. We have an owner that owns this. It's all licensed under the UFC, and all my certification for teaching here is UFC. You have to go through all their classes, National Academy of Sports Medicine through UFC, all the different equipment and stuff. We have to use all that. Absolutely. Come here, experience UFC, keep your heart wide open, your incredible brains, how you think, and learn martial arts. Learn whatever you have. You have Eskrima, you have Kali, you have Arnis, you have all these great arts. Teach yourself. It's not just about fighting, it's about discipline and finding yourself. So do that. And what about the people that get Fullerton, that they're looking for supplements to work out? What the fact that when they look at yeah, a gym is very boring. Here at UFC Gym in Fullerton, I mean, we give you the complete workout. You learn to punch, you learn to kick, you learn to defend yourself. Also, you have fun. We play great music. We scream and yell. We have a good time. We smile. And it's better than standing in front of a mirror going, I'm getting stronger. No, you can get the best shape of your life and have fun doing it. All right. I guess that's all it is. Thank you. But congratulations. And maybe more power to the next year. Maybe more. And we'll push you all on the side. Thank you.
Okay, I have with me another UFC fighter, and what's your name is?
Kylie Silva.
And what's your title here?
I'm a general manager here.
General manager.
Yeah, it's so exciting because there are no other female general managers in the UFC organization. She's the first one, and pretty too. She's pretty good. She worked very hard as a front desk, and then became assistant general manager, and now general manager, and she's getting a real good shot at doing the job here. So incredible.
And so anyway, what is your background in this? To some kind of all the way around?
What kind of martial arts?
Kickboxing, boxing. Just recently started taking up Muay Thai and wrestling. Pursuing wrestling more recently.
And bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding. I've been bodybuilding for 7 years, so I can see in bodybuilding.
Are you still fighting?
Yes. It's just training.
But not
actual fighting. Wrestling, I'll be getting into actual wrestling.
I see. Wow. Are you considering yourself going to a bodybuilder contest?
I do. I've been competing for 4 years, but I've been a bodybuilder for 7 years.
Okay, that's good. And can you say something about those Filipinos? Because this will be shown in the
Say hi to those in the Philippines.
Hi guys.
Something nice.
I hope you guys are doing well. And you guys all enjoy our fight for UFC.
And shout out to Senator Manny Pacquiao.
Manny, you know, one of my friends just one of Manny Pacquiao's bodyguards. He's got a very large guy here in Los Angeles, a guy named Brent Woolridge. He works with Manny.
He's coming next week.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, but the election is over.
Oh, we might all have work then. More bodyguard work. Wow.
I think the next step will be the president next 2020.
Yeah.
We're praying for you, man. Definitely.
Thank you for the one-on-one interview.
You're very welcome.
Hopefully, the will progress.
Absolutely.
And more people are coming in.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you.
This is Eagle News correspondent Nelson Trinidad reporting. See you in the fight.
Welcome.
EBC Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila. Ano ang kwento ng iyong buhay? Gisingin ang natutulog na puso at damdamin. Bigyang kulay ang buhay sa palatuntunan. Ito ang inyong Tita Mary. Linggo, alas 2 ng hapon sa Radyo Agila.
With a sauteed mushroom and rosemary sauce. For ingredients today, we'll be needing sea salt, black pepper, of course, pork chops, 2 tablespoons of butter, rosemary, crushed and sliced garlic, and as well as sliced mushrooms. So, starting off with this recipe, just get your sea salt, lightly coat each side, back and forth with salt and pepper. This is going to season the pork well as help give it that, simple kick to amplify its flavor. Make sure to do both sides evenly. Not to put too much salt and too much pepper, because you don't want it to be too salty or be under flavored. So once we have our meat ready, we're going to take our tablespoon of butter and head over to the pan. Here we have a pan preheated to medium-high heat. We're going to take our room temperature butter, start letting that coat the pan evenly. Hear that sizzle? It's going to be really good. And make sure the butter is browned. Make sure the brick of butter is going to coat the pan evenly to lubricate and make sure also flavor the meat as well. We're going to take our tongs, get our meat right here. Good old looking piece of the pork chop. Medium-high heat. Place onto the pan. And what we're going to do is let the bottom cook for 3 minutes or until brown, because we want to get the juices running. We want to get the fat from the beef, from the pork, and also the flavor into the pan and into the butter and into the oil, because that is what's going to be helping with the flavor of the sauteed mushrooms. So we're going to let that set, sear up, turn brown, and we're going to head over to our mushrooms. As I told you, usually you could just have typical button mushrooms, go shiitake mushrooms, even mini portobellos, or even go full-on portobellos. Today, we're just using some simple sliced button mushrooms as well. The reason why we decided to, we have 2 tablespoons of butter is because we're going to be using this for the sauce. And we're going to get onto that once we go in and finish up on the pork. So, perhaps it's been about 3 minutes or so. Oh, look at that. Wow, it's been browned really quick. We're going to flip it onto the other side with those really browned up pork chops. Really nice and good. Look at that. You can almost smell the pork. that bacon, but thicker. It's really good. Oh my God. My cameraman, he's like watching this right now, and he is like drooling. My goodness. We're gonna make sure the other side is browned and good. Well done. Not too well done, because what we're going to do once the pork juices and everything is going to be browned up, we're going to be placing it onto a platter separately, right here, and we're going to let the pork rest. What a resting does, we're going to cover with foil. Resting helps the juices cook inside, so it's not directly on the heat. Let's see how these pork loaves are doing. It's almost there. So this is why we cook on medium high heat. That sizzle is glorious right now. So it's been about 4 minutes or so. It looks like these are browning up, seared to perfection, because these are really thin pieces of pork. So these are fine. We're gonna take the pork, put it on another platter. We're just gonna cover it with a piece of foil, because what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna let the pork rest, let the juices cook inside it, and it'll let all the juices run from the pork, excuse me, and into the plate. We're gonna get our butter, 2nd tablespoon of butter. We're gonna get our rosemary. We're gonna try to infuse the rosemary with the butter, so that way it gets all the fat from the pork as well. Get that room temperature butter right there. Same thing, let it coat around, let it dance around the plate. Dance around the plate. That smells so good. Place the rosemary in there. Make sure to cook the butter, cook the rosemary, maybe like 30 seconds or so, because you don't want them to burn, because it's gonna be cooking as well. Reduce the heat to medium, let's say a 5. Make it dance around the plate for a good full minute or so. It smells good. I love using rosemary. It's really good, especially with like many types of meat. I love using rosemary. I have a really strong, impactful flavor, scent, and aroma, and it's beautiful. It speaks to me in a way. So once the rosemary is done cooking, browned up, go ahead and add the garlic. Garlic is another ingredient that is very important, because it does add another kick to the flavor. I'm going to change to a saffron, because it's going to go on the thing. On the nice thing. Yes. Make sure not to burn the garlic, because garlic tends to burn really fast. So that's why you have to add the garlic really a lot later. It's 30 seconds tops. Possibly it takes the garlic to cook. As you see, everything's browning up. Go ahead and place all your mushrooms into the pan. And it's best to have a lot of mushrooms, because the thing about mushrooms, it's very spongy and it has a really high water content. So all the water is going to be squeezed out, all the juices from it is going to be squeezed out and go into the pan as well. Mushrooms are very spongy, so they're going to also absorb all the butter, the rosemary butter, and it's going to take all the flavor up, and it's going to make some nice, beautiful browned up mushrooms with some rosemary and garlic. So brown those bad boys up, as well as it's going to go really well with the pork. That's sizzling, scrumptious, scrumptious. I like to eat pork chops and vegetables sometimes with brown rice. Sometimes if you want to go a healthier choice, go ahead and go quinoa. Sometimes I would like to just eat it with a typical green salad, spinach, kale, whatever you love to pair your dinner beef or meat with. It smells really good right now. We're gonna let that cook a bit. Looks like the pork is done resting. Look at that. All the juices have came out of the pork and is ready for plating. So let's bring that part right here. Oh, it looks beautiful. As you can see, the mushroom is browning out really well. It used to be with a large, nice white texture. Now it's taking all the juices, all the flavors from the butter and soaking up in like little tiny flavor sponges. It's looking really beautiful. Now that the mushrooms are pretty much brown, pretty much done, well done. Top the heat. Take a spoonful of this butter. These butter infused, aroma infused, rosary infused, and just ladle it on top of the pork. And it'll also take the juices of the pork as well. Think about little tiny flavor sponges. I'll coat it evenly all over the plate. Looks really good. I wish you could all smell this right there, Jackie and Ken, because this is really good. Anyway, for a simple supper, present it however you like. We have our pork chops and sauteed mushrooms with a bit of a rosemary and salt and pepper. Anyway, this concludes our simple supper for today. Thank you for joining me. Back to you, Ken and Jackie.
Thank you, Mark, for that delicious presentation. We'll be back after these short messages. Hi, everyone, and welcome to
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Philippine Standard Time, it's 10:55 in the evening.
Kumustahin natin ang ating mga kababayan na overseas Filipino workers.
Alamin natin ang kanilang opinyon at pag-usapan ng mga isyong kanilang hinaharap.
Ako po si Jerome Alcantara. Samahan niyo po kami
sa OFW Connect. Tuwing Lunes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi.
Dito lamang sa Radyo Agila, 1062.
Feedback. Pulso ng nakararami. Alamin kung ano ang sinasabi. Feedback. Isyu ng bayan. Laging subaybayan. Feedback. Makialam. Ipaalam ang boses ng taong bayan. Feedback. Araw-araw, alas 7:30 ng umaga. Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Dito lamang sa Radyo Agila. Feedback.
Now, LA is a global hotspot where people from near and far, both domestic and international, come in droves. Did you know that Los Angeles averages 44 million visitors a year, in which $19 billion is spent by these tourists? So, as far as a little background on me, I've been in California for about 18 years now, and about half of that time I've spent here in Southern California. If you know me, I love food and I love being a local explorer. So I often get a lot of questions from people coming out of town on where to go and what to eat. And so I usually provide them a lot of different lists. And that's what I look to do for this segment. It's to help you, if you are ever in town, places to go. And today we will start off with talking about Disneyland, aka the happiest place on earth. So one thing that I've noticed when visitors come here for their the first stop is usually this place. It's at Disneyland. Why? Well, it's a place where kids can be kids and adults can relive their childhood. You know, everyone has watched at least one Disney movie and know that friendly mouse, Mickey, right? So with that, you know, Disneyland opened its doors back in 1955, and just last year, it celebrated its 60-year anniversary. So you can only imagine the amount of success and the amount of people that have gone through in all this years. You know, the first time I went there was back in 2005. So it's been quite a while, and I just remember, you know, how much it's changed since I first went there, and it's only been about 11 years. So with that, I have some tips on making your experience for Disneyland the best possible. So first tip is to know that beforehand, you got to know that it's not cheap. You know, the prices of tickets have continued to rise, and you got to be aware that, you know, it's different to get one day ticket to one park and, you know, a park hopper. So that's something you got to consider. Also, you want to consider that, you know, you got to financially prepare for just not the ticket, but for parking, for food, for souvenirs, and just about anything and everything that you can buy in there. You know, there's pretty much, you know, so many things to buy. Like, for example, when I go in there and I see, you know, a kid with a balloon, I'm just like, man, maybe I want one of those balloons. And I find out it's like, you know, $12, and I'm just like, okay, maybe I don't need that balloon. So number two, second tip is that you have to bring water. If you're going to be there for the whole day, you want to stay hydrated. And, you know, going back to the whole financial, you know, being financially ready, you know, if you can bring water inside. So you don't want to spend $5 on a bottle of water. Instead, you know, buy a bunch of water, a bottle of water from outside, bring them in, and drink them throughout the day. That's essential, especially on hot summer days. Number three is a change of clothes. You know, you're going to be walking throughout the day. You're going to sweat, especially when it's summer. You want to make sure that you have that second pair of clothes, whether it's a shirt or pants. Some of the rides have splashes in them, so you might get wet. So, you know, you want to be prepared for that. Also, if you stay throughout the night, you want to take in consideration that it does get cold. Something weird about Southern California is that throughout the day, it's a little warm, and at the night, it can get, you know, 20 to 30 degrees colder. So if you're going to stay for an evening show or evening rides, you want to have a sweater or a jacket ready and prepared. Tip number four is you want to have good walking shoes. Your feet will thank you at the end of the day. A lot of people make a mistake of, you know, wearing, you know, some formal shoes, or if you're a lady, you wear high heels. Oh my goodness. You know, that is one of the biggest mistakes you can do going to Disneyland. You want to make sure that you have nice, comfortable shoes going into the happiest place so that you can leave a happy camper also. And number five, this is the most important tip. You need to have a great attitude from the moment you come in to the moment that you come out. It is easy, very easy, to lose sight of why you're there. Why? Because one, you're going to be in a really long line. Be prepared for that. Be prepared for a line that lasts over an hour, especially if you go on the weekend or on holiday. If you go anytime, you know, on a Saturday or a Sunday, be prepared for a huge crowd. Also, if you go on a holiday, be prepared for the fact that, you know, you might, sometimes when it gets overcrowded, they stop letting people in. So you want to take that in consideration also. You know, I went into, the last time I had a pass, I went into the leap year day, which the park was open for 24 hours. Let me tell you, you probably won't have this nightmare of an experience, but just let you know that it took 2 hours to get parking, 2 hours to get in, and then 3 hours to get food. So, you know, by the time that I was able to actually get something, it was around like 2 in the morning, and I was just like, I'm over this. However, just letting you know, that probably won't happen to you. You're gonna have a much better time than that. I had a pass, which means that, you know, I can go in certain days, and, you know, that was probably one of the worst Disneyland experiences. But let me tell you also, Disneyland is well worth it. All right, so now I'm going to go over some tips on what an ideal day is to make the most of your one day at Disneyland. So right when you enter, you also want to consider the fact that, you know, there's different times when the park opens. Whether some days it's 8 o'clock, usually that's during the weekends, and during the weekdays it's usually 9 o'clock. So you want to take into consideration that fact before you enter the park. You also want to consider, you know, which park you're going to go into first. You know, if you have that park hopper. Usually, what I do is I run straight into the Cars Land ride. One of my favorite rides. It's one of the newer rides, and if you go a little later, you'll find out it is one of the most popular rides. So the lines will be very, very long. So what I do, I run straight into Cars Land, get my Fast Pass. A Fast Pass is something that is a ticket that you get earlier on, and then you're able to come back at a certain time slot. So right when I get that Fast Pass, I go and grab some breakfast. You know, it depends on what I'm feeling. Sometimes I feel like the world famous Disneyland corn dogs, or I get, you know, some of those Mickey pancakes. Everyone loves pancakes, and these are Mickey shaped. One of my crew knows where you can get the Mickey pancakes. Where can I get those Mickey pancakes? Well, just look for Mickey pancakes on Yelp and you will find that. So with that, after I eat, I go straight into my first ride. So usually it's the Toy Story ride. One of my favorite rides. You can't get a Fast Pass there, so you have to line up. Know that, you know, a lot of kids will love this ride, and so they'll go straight to that also. And this is a 3D ride, so make sure that, you know, if you have vision impaired, you want to bring your glasses. And you usually, while I'm wearing glasses, I usually have to put the 3D glasses over my glasses, so you're going to need that. Afterwards, I go and ride the Cars Land ride. I check out all the different things in the Cars Land area. It's a very, very great area just to walk around. You know, if you watch Cars Land, it looks exactly like the set. So, you know, that's one of the recent changes that they've had to California Adventure. You will love it. After that, I go straight to Tower of Terror, grab a Fast Pass, and then go to my favorite ride out of the entire park, which is California Screamin'. It's their quote-unquote fastest roller coaster, which isn't really that fast, but you know, it goes over the, you know, most of the California Adventure Park, and you know, it's actually a pretty fast ride. So you know, the longest you will wait, depending on the day, is around 40 minutes, but on a good day you can get to the front of the line about 10 to 15. So, you know, my advice is you go to Disneyland on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Those are your key days. Make sure you take advantage of the weekday when everyone else is at work. All right. So after I get off of California Screamin', I go straight to Tower of Terror. Love Tower of Terror. Just make sure that you don't eat anything heavy before these two rides, California Screamin' and Tower of Terror, because you're gonna the Tower of Terror is kind of like a hotel ride, and you go up to the top floor and you drop down to the first floor. So you want to make sure that you know, you are prepared and you are not gonna throw up, right? So around after you've ridden this 4 rides is about lunchtime. So you have 2 choices. What you can stay over at California Adventure and grab lunch there. One of my places that I like to eat is Ariel's Grotto. You know, it oversees you know, the rest of California Adventure. You get a really nice view. Or you can go over to Disneyland. By the way, before you leave California Adventure and you want to come back later for one of the shows, it's called World of Color. Go over to what's that ride that where you get the Grizzly River Run. The Grizzly River Run has the fast passes for the world, not the fast pass, has the passes for World of Color. You have to make, like, you can only, that is the only show in Disneyland and California Adventure that you need a pass in order to watch the show. So just take that into consideration, and it doesn't run out as much as it used to, but just also remember that, you know, people are going to go for that, and the tickets do run out. So if you're not looking to have lunch in California Adventure, you can head over to Disneyland, and from there I would love to have lunch at Blue Bayou. So the great thing about Blue Bayou is that one, it's also in Pirates of the Caribbean ride, but two, you also have to consider the fact that you have to make reservations. It is very tough to walk in there and get seated because everyone loves that place, and they have the best Monte Cristo sandwich that you can ask for. So that is one of my tips. And also, if you're looking for a delicious drink, I love the mint julep drink over in the New Orleans Square. So those two treats. And then from there, I would get my fast pass to Space Mountain. Actually, right when you get into Disneyland, get your fast pass to Space Mountain because that usually runs out pretty quickly. So make sure you get that and then ride a couple rides. So I love the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That's an all-timer right there. You just feel like you're in the world of, the Pirates world. And then, you're walking around, and also Indiana Jones. Love, love, love Indiana Jones. After you do Indiana Jones, do yourself a favor and get a Dole Whip. That is one of the best things that you can get in Disneyland. The Dole Whip. It's right next to that tiki place over near Indiana Jones. So as far as the shows, as I mentioned, you have the World of Color and California Adventure. You have two main shows at night in Disneyland. You have one, your Fantasmic, and two, your fireworks. So if it's my first time there, I would usually go for the fireworks. I mean, there's a nice little story that goes with it, and then it shows in the castle. Main advice is that you have to get there kind of early in order to get great seating for the castle. So make sure you take that into consideration. But it's beautiful. It's a nice dark starry night, and you have the fireworks going off with great music. So take that into consideration. Those are great shows. They also have parades, so make sure if you're just there to hang out, the parades start around 5-6 time. So all the characters are there, and it's pretty amazing. Oh, I just find out, breaking news, Fantasmic is closed. So you have the fireworks. So that's still great too. But fireworks or World of Color. Also, there's a couple great shows that you can watch. One of them is the Star Wars show over next to Space Mountain. It used to be Captain EO, which was this Michael Jackson 3D show. Now it's a Star Wars Path of the Jedi. I highly suggest it, especially with the new Star Wars sagas coming out. They also have the Star Tours. And the lines for these are going to be kind of long, just FYI, just because with Star Wars being on the up and up, there's going to be a lot of people that are coming just for the Star Wars attractions. So take that also into consideration. Well, that wraps up my tips for Disneyland. Don't forget that when you're gonna leave and you're getting your souvenirs, go to the World of Disney store at Downtown Disney. It's outside of the park. Well, I've had a pleasure sharing my tips and tricks for Disneyland for you. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. And that is the first episode of Cruisin' LA. Thank you so much.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Breakfast on board. Programa makakasama nyo tuwing Sabado at Linggo ng umaga sa inyong kapagkainan. Breakfast on board. Tatalakay sa mga isyu ng mapanahon, lilinawin at bubusin lahat ng anggulo ng balita. Breakfast on board. Pagagandahin ang inyong weekend sa pamamagitan ng iba't ibang tips at makabuluhang topics na siguradong makatulong sa pang-araw-araw. Breakfast on board.
So hi, and welcome back to Eagle Radio International Los Angeles edition. We are your hosts, Ken Cruz.
Jacqueline Rackman. And before our break, I had my co-host here, Ken, take us cruising downtown LA, and he took us to his first destination, which was Disneyland, a very popular place. And he told us what to do there, foods to eat, rides to go to, and of course, souvenirs before we leave.
Hopefully everyone enjoys those tips.
I
and
did.
Yeah, well, I
Thank
mean,
you.
Disneyland is a go-to destination for sure. So our next segment, brand new, well, everything's brand new since this is, of course, the first episode, is I Heart Music. And our host is here, joining us remotely here in Los Angeles, Jason Dagenod. Jason, take it away.
Hi, Jason.
Hi. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing today? Well, yeah, so thanks for having me on. So, you know, with summer around the corner, a lot of people like to plan out their summers. And for music goers and music fans, that can only really mean one thing when summer hits, and that's music season, especially music festival season. And so here today, I'm here to talk about the different music festivals you can attend, as well as the cultures that you can find within each one, since each one has its own theme. You can look into, so that's to kind of roll off of the whole idea of music festivals. There's different like music festivals depending on what region you're in. If you're in New York, there's a bigger one during the summer called Governor's Ball. Within the Midwest region, there's another huge one called Bonnaroo. So I would just go into YouTube, go into the search field, type in Governor's Ball, Bonnaroo, Coachella, which is really big out on the West Coast. In the Northeast, you can type in Sasquatch Music Festival. There's really a whole slew of music festivals that you can kind of research. And even if you're as curious as to see like what kind of experiences you can expect from them, I just go to YouTube and just simply type that in the search field.
Awesome. We understand that there is a music festival connoisseur with us as a guest. Is that correct?
Yes, there definitely is. I'm bringing her along. It's Dominic Flores. She works with a mixed media organization here in Los Angeles that promotes music events, but they also report in them as well. Think about it as kind of similar to Pitchfork, but it's really based out of here in LA, and they center on both local acts as well as international acts. Welcome to the show, Dom.
Hi, happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Dom.
Hello.
So she can further elaborate on music festivals. She goes to quite a bit of them. I do as well. We're pretty well versed with the music festivals. From your experiences alone, Dom, what do you define? What is really a music festival to you? I know that the definition kind of bounces back and forth between music festival goers, but I think you could probably summate it.
Quite simply put, it's just a group of my favorite artists and bands all together that I can see within the course of 2 or 3 days, sometimes one day depending on the festival. And I don't have to go too far in order to see all of them in one place.
Quick question with that, Dom.
Mm-hmm.
You said 2 to 3 days. How does that work logistically as far as, you know, I understand that they probably have an itinerary of the music festival goer, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how does that work?
Well, now these days, because technology is up to date, and everybody owns an iPhone or an Android, that like weeks to months in advance, once they release a lineup to a music festival, there are apps that you can download on your phone so that you can schedule your days throughout the music festival. So you don't have to like spend your day like running around trying to get to this and this and this. Instead, you can plan that out so that you can properly pace yourself and then so you can fit in because music festivals aren't just music festivals. Music festivals also include like artist highlights. They include food and like rides, things like that. So you want to try to, especially if you want to maximize your music festival experience, you want to try to plan accordingly. Once
So how about when the day ends? Do people sleep on site or
yes, for some
is
music
it all
festivals.
time or
Um,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it got a little choppy there. But for some music festivals, there is an option to camp, like Coachella. There is an option to camp on site, which is right next door to the actual venue, and you can go ahead and camp out. Usually people have like throw parties there, or most people sleep. I'm one of those people who likes to go back to my hotel and sleep.
I think it's a great choice. Jason, go ahead.
Well, sorry, yeah, to piggyback off of what Dom said, I mean, along with camping, music festivals have now learned that a lot of people like to either glam or even like to have like these package hotel deals. So let's say you go to Governor's Ball in New York City, or you go out to FYF here in LA. They actually pre-package these deals that you can purchase alongside with your tickets. So you don't have to necessarily camp or look for an Airbnb each time you go to these things. I mean, it is a pretty long day, come to think about it. Some music festivals, like the ones in Spain and Europe, and throughout Europe, they start at 12 noon and they don't let up until like 6 a.m. in the morning.
Whoa.
So a lot of the times they will, a lot of festival goers will either camp out and then just pick up right where they left off and then just go and see another headliner.
I love food, and I'm wondering, is there a huge markup on all the food that's available?
Yes, yes. Typically, whenever I plan to go to a music festival, I save a pretty decent amount of money depending on the festival and how close it is to my home, my own personal home. And if I'm going further out, it's the more I have to spend. So I will save I would save a lot more in order to eat. And if not, then I would just bring a bunch of stuff, and then if I get like a hotel with my friends, then we'll all just stock up our food there, and then we'll try to spend minimally at the festival, like only buying necessities like food and water.
But because, Ken, you are quite the foodie, I mean, there are, just like what Dom mentioned earlier, that there are music festivals that are like food-centric. So take, for example, San Francisco's, their huge music festival called Outside Lens centers on music, and along with music, food, and I think now they kind of throw in comedy. But a lot of the time, this music festival is known for their gourmet food. So they'll take in vendors from across the city. They're kind of known for their specialties. I know there was one that's been kind of a frequent over the past couple of years. They specialize in porcini donuts. So they're really like, porcini donuts. You dip them in like this really special cheese sauce. It's really decadent, really rich, but it's fantastic. And that's why a lot of festival goers will go to San Francisco specifically for this music festival because they have all this food here that you can enjoy in one sitting. And while you're eating and just kind of munching on whatever noms you get, you can actually see the headliner. Last year was Elton John.
I think that's a great combination of music to your ears and food to your stomach, right?
All right, you guys, I'm sold. You guys talk about a lot of the things that you do in music festivals. When I go on my Facebook and I see my friends go to music festivals, I scroll down the newsfeed and they do many things, right? So my question now is about ticketing. I mean, for instance, with Coachella, it's probably like the 3-day event, correct?
Yes.
So would you just buy like a ticket for one day, or is it like a 3-day ticket that you?
Well, that and what are we looking at here with costs? I mean, is it feasible for your average Joe Schmo to be able to afford something that sounds like a next level event, right?
more and more these days, especially with music festivals, because every year they get it more expensive. So, and of course, like given the age gap of those who attend music festivals, we all really can't afford it because we're like young and broke. So essentially, they have started releasing payment plans where you can pay monthly. For example, I just bought tickets to FYFS here in Los Angeles, and I put a down payment of about $100, and then every month it's a little payment here and there until August.
So
it's more affordable.
Let me ask.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth every monthly penny.
Yes, definitely yes. It's the highlight of my summer. So.
Do a long shot, but does that cost include food, or is the food a separate?
I'm almost positive I can answer that, and that's a big no, right?
Oh, man.
Like, I guess the only thing that is free at those music festivals is the water fountains that have lines that are a mile long, and that's about it.
Yeah, I've seen the porta potty lines too. Those look pretty wild.
They are. They definitely are. That's why train your bladders. Train your bladders.
Train your bladders, bring extra clothing. That's correct, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so then Dom, question for you. How many festivals have you been to, since you're quite the expert?
Throughout the years, I can't really say an exact number. Kind of counting now. I'd say probably 15.
Wow. All in the U.S. or international?
All in the U.S. Yeah.
How about you, Jason? Have you been to any international ones?
No, not quite. That's still on the books for me to do. I mean, for the international ones, it's a completely different culture. I mean, again, to be picking up at noon and then just seeing music act after music act up until 6 a.m. in the morning, I think you kind of have to go through some type of training regimen and kind of condition your body in order to do that, right? So alongside that, I think even for us, if we're going internationally, you kind of have to plan it out with like the different accommodations. And while you're there, since you are there, I think you would want to see some of the other sites too, and just not music acts, right?
Sure. Couple more questions. One, for both of you, what's your favorite music festival so far? Ladies first.
Okay. As far as weather, sorry, a little under the weather. As far as weather and entertainment, I'd say Outside Lands. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, back to it. I'd say Outside Lands because preferably like the colder weather, and the weather's usually perfect in the summer in San Francisco. Food is great. Transportation is easy because there's a lot of public transportation, and the music is diverse, like a lot. It's very diverse. Last year they had Elton John. A couple of years ago they had Stevie Wonder. And I think it appeals to all ages. So I think it's worth the experience.
All right, quickly, last one for you, Jason.
Oh, so with my favorite, I'd say Outside Lines too, but my other favorite is Austin City Limits, which is basically in Austin. It's kind of tied. I have top 3 ones. There's Outside Lands, Austin City Limits, and South by Southwest. South by Southwest is probably, I kind of lean towards more South by Southwest because they have different themes and different sections of the music festival. So it's not just the music festival. It's just this amalgamation of like tech and comedy and film. So, for people that have different interests other than music, they can attend these different sections, and it kind of gives you a break from actually seeing all these musical acts. So you don't have to really wait in line, and mind you that these lines wrap around the block just to see a certain artist. So I mean, there is a break where you can actually go see a film that has yet to be released. And I think that's what South by Southwest does to attract others. Let alone Austin is just really pretty. So if you haven't been, I highly suggest you going.
Thank you so much, Jason. Dom.
Thank you, Jason and Dom.
We thank you so much. And for more information, you can contact Jason. Do you have an email that we can contact you, Jason, for more questions on music festivals?
Yeah, you can. Shoot me an email at j.ab, as in boy, .dag, as in dog, 1@gmail.com. Or you can also follow me on Twitter and just ask me questions through DM, or just shoot me a tweet through there, and that's at AJEHSAN.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up our first iHeart Music segment. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be back after this short break.
Bye.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Pagkain ng tama at sapat, lunas sa gutom at malnutrisyon. Isang paalala mula sa programang Kain Tayo. Kain Tayo. Linggo, alas 12 ng tanghali hanggang 1:00 ng hapon. Dito sa Radyo Agila.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Pambihira! Joke ba yan? Programang matututo ka na, masaya ka pa! Pambihira! Joke ba yan? Mapapakinggan tuwing Sabado, 1:30 ng hapon. Dito lamang sa Radyo Agila!
Eco-friendly ka ba at mahilig sa usapang pangkapaligiran? Health-conscious ka ba at mahilig sa usapang patungkol sa kalusugan? Isyong pangkapaligiran, isyong pangkalusugan at marami pang iba. Ating pag-usapan. Pinoy Scientist, tuwing Linggo, alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng hapon, dito sa Radyo Agila. Pinoy Scientist.
International LA edition. And once again, we are your hosts,
And Jacqueline.
And next up, we have for you another segment for iHeart Music. And this one is called Jammin' with RJ. We're going to start off with RJ conducting a very exclusive interview. Let's take it away, RJ.
This is RJ Rodriguez, correspondent for Eagle Broadcasting here at Chicano Rock Studios in Monterey Park, California. We are here with the legend from the band Tierra. Got to roll the R's, Mr. Rudy Salas. How you doing, Rudy?
I'm doing great, bro.
Good to see
Thanks
you.
for coming down, man. It's great to be here and witness this great performance right now, and so I'm just having a good time, man. I'm having a great time.
Well, we thank you for having us here and allowing us to be here in your studio.
Pleasure. Made my Sunday, man.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah. I would like to tell the viewers this is gonna regarding the band Tierra. Not only Tierra, but you and your brother. You know, I know we talked about this before. You guys go back singing when you were young. You guys learn harmony.
Yeah, my brother and I, we started learning harmony at a very, very early age. My mom used to sing with a family like gatherings and reunions, and but she used to sing like rancheras and boleros and all these old Mexican traditional songs. And we learned, and she used to sing with her brother, who's my uncle, and they used to sing that 2-part harmony. And my brother and I caught on to it, and that's how we started. And but everything we sang was in Spanish, even though we didn't speak Spanish at the time, you know. And that's when we met up with the guys from the Jaguars band, and they saw us play at it was a church fiesta there, and my brother and I. And they didn't think we spoke English because everything we sang was in Spanish, you know. So the guy approached us speaking Spanish to us and said, "Oh, but we don't understand Spanish." And the guy started cracking up. But we started singing for them.
That was with Adrian.
Adrian, Mario, Panyawan.
As a matter of fact, I got a great photo of you and I back in 1993, maybe at the Hop with Adrian.
That was our reunion. Yeah, that was great.
I was
in fact, I have it right here.
Cool. That was one of them. Yeah. And then I was with the premieres at the time, and we got a great photo backstage.
I remember that. Yeah, that was great.
And so then you started the band Tierra. When was this? In your teenage?
Well, no. What happened? We started. We had a couple of bands, and I was working with a band called Maya, and we were at Kabuki's over there in Crenshaw way back then the days. And El Chicano, who was the VIPs at the time,
right?
Who were the VIPs. And they put out that Viva Tirado, but they didn't want. They went and gave it to a guy by the name of Eddie Davis, and he was a record promoter and the whole thing. And he put it out there, and he wanted them to represent it. They didn't want to because they wanted to keep the name the VIPs. So then what happened? My brother and I started. Singing, when they finally came and they took the name, my brother and I started doing a couple of the albums with them, you know.
Beautiful.
And then that's when we started our band Tierra, right? And from there,
you guys did the Brown Eyed Girl with them, right?
Yeah, my brother did the lead vocal on that, yeah, and I did some background and some guitar work and stuff like that. And with the experience that we learned from that, you know, then we started Tierra, you know. So
and then you had the awesome hit called Together. Tell us about Together, how that came to be.
Well, Together was a song that originally was done by the Intruders back in the mid 60s, you know, early 60s, and we used to put it in our show as part of a medley. We had a medley of all these oldies, you know, and that kind of thing. So one day I decided, hey, look, guys, we're gonna record an album. We had gotten some sponsorship money. So from some of the beer companies that we were with, and I said we'll put their money together. Put the money, and we'll do this recording. And we did the song. We picked that song to do, and just did by itself. And we figured we'll just do it our own way. We'll put our own feel to it and the whole thing, and take it out of just the R&B, but make it more pop and oriented. And boom, man, once we put it out there, and originally we didn't have a label. We just put it out there on our own, you know.
Right.
And some of the local stations started picking it up. And before you knew it, it was already on the national charts, even before we had a record company.
Wow.
So originally we would go to the record companies trying to shop it, but they would all say, hey, go with the Spanish label because of the name Tierra. They thought we were, and I said, well, the stuff isn't in Spanish. It's all, you know, R&B, a combination of rock, R&B, a lot of different jazz, a lot of stuff. So once it started getting the airplay, the very same companies that turned us down started bidding for the band, you know, and
love it.
And it was great because, you know, this way, you know, we didn't we went it wasn't given to us, you know. We went out there and just proved ourselves on it, and it was a great feeling. And then before you knew it, we were already on national top chart, national charts.
You guys are an awesome band, and much respect to you. And like we talked before right here, you guys know your dynamics when you come in, boom, and hit the crowd. And
well, you know, we're very fortunate to have some veterans, some really veteran musicians. They're great musicians, and I've always tried to surround myself with better musicians than myself. But we've been able to keep it together, you know, and that's the whole thing. I mean, we went through a lot of different people through the years, but we were always able to get somebody that, and even though they weren't like big like name guys or anything like that, but they stepped up to the plate when they got into the group, and they all fit in, and it's like a family. So it's
well,
great.
you held it together. You held the band together so well. You're just awesome. Guitar player, singer, and I have a lot of respect and love for you.
I appreciate that, RJ.
Thank you so much for this interview, Rudy.
All right.
This is RJ Rodriguez, correspondent for Eagle Broadcasting. I am 1 with 25 and out.
Thank you for that great interview, RJ. And I believe RJ is multi-talented. I believe they have a live performance for us. Is that correct, Jacqueline?
That is correct.
Let's go ahead and check it out.
Rodriguez, correspondent for Eagle Broadcasting. I am here in Monterey Park at Chicano Studios with actually some great musicians here. First, I have Ron Reyes, great guitar player, legend in the music business. Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you.
We've been playing together for
many years.
2 decades or so.
Probably.
It's been a blessing. Ron has a long history being a musician with great artists, and he, as you will see tonight, he is himself an awesome musician and player.
Thank you so much, Rich. I've been blessed to play with many people. Been on the road an awful lot of my life. Played with guys like Chuck Negron, 3 Dog Night, Bobby Kimball from Total. He's got like 9 Grammy Awards. Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. The list goes on, but I just, thank God for the opportunity to be able to play, period.
And when you started out, you were with the Impalas, if I remember correctly. They had a beautiful song called Band of Gold.
Band of Gold, yeah. Something we did way back when we were all just kids, like 15 years old, and doing these incredible things at such a young age was just fun, fun.
Awesome history. That's tasty. That's very tasty. Love it. Nice. Now we got Mr. Gilbert Stokes. He himself was with a band in the 80s. They redid a song called Groovin', originally done by the Rascals. And Mr. Gilbert Stokes, how you doing, Gilbert?
All right, how you doing, man?
We've also played together. All 3 of us played together for
long time.
Yeah, long time.
Places.
You guys taught me a lot of things.
Thank God, thank you, Jesus Christ, we're still doing it.
Love you guys like brothers.
Yeah.
So this is Gilbert Stokes. How'd you start in the music singing?
Oh, I was a little boy.
Little boy.
Singing. Make a band, playing different bands.
And then you hit.
Then one day you just find yourself making records.
And then ready to perform
Still
tonight?
singing.
Still singing. We're going to do it tonight.
Yes.
All right, cool. I am here with my cousin. Long time. We known each other almost.
Since we were born.
Yeah. Mr. Robert Venegas. How you doing?
I'm well. I'm here for you, cousin, all the way.
Thank you, cuz. So you started off also on guitar, or was it keyboards or piano?
I started on acoustic guitar, and then I taught myself piano, and then the bass also. And just hanging out with the family. We're all musically inclined, as you can tell.
We got musician blood in the family. Oh, yeah. And then we got Tony Darling. This is Tony Darling right here. How'd you get started in the music business?
Just playing music and writing and just having a good time with it.
Well, I think we're ready to show the audience what we have tonight. Ready? Okay.
afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Oh, Lord, won't you stand by me? When the stars in the sky come falling down on the ground, and the mountain should crumble to the sea. I won't shed a tear. Oh no, just as long as you stand by me, stand by me, stand by me, yeah, 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 stand by me. We want to stand by me. Oh Lord, won't you stand by me? Oh yeah. Somebody to hold you close and tight on the cold rainy night. Just call me up, just call me up. I come up running to you as fast as I can. I hold you tight on a cold and rainy night, right by the long firelight. Stand by me. Who won't you stand by me? Yeah. Stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? Won't you stand by me? Oh, Lord, yeah. Stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? Won't you stand? Stand by me. Oh, Lord. Stand by me. Who won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? Won't you stand by me? I said, hey. I said, hey, hey, hey. Get out into that kitchen and rattle them pots and pans. Get out into that kitchen and rattle them pots and pans. Well, hello, my breakfast, but I'm a hungry man. Oh, I said, shake. roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. What you doing, baby? Save your doggone soul. All right. I said shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. What you doing, baby? Save your doggone soul. Just like a great big freight train. Well, my love for you, baby, just like a great big freight train. Can you hear my whistle blowing? Oh, 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 oh. Well, my love for you, baby, just like a great big freight train. Well, I'm coming home, baby, coming on home to you. Baby, can you hear me? Hear me coming on home. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. What you doing, baby? Save your doggone soul. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. What you doing, baby? Save your doggone soul. I did you wrong. My heart went out to play, but in the game I lost you. What a price to pay! I'm crying. Baby, baby. Baby, baby, these days I know crying. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. I'm just about at the end of my road. I can't stop trying. Can't give up hope. 'Cause I feel one day I'll hold you near. Whisper I still love you until the day is here. I'm crying. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. I'm just about at the end of my road. I can't stop trying. Can't give up hope. 'Cause I feel one day I'll hold you near. Whisper I still love you until the day is here. I'm crying. Baby, baby. Woo. Baby, baby. You know, baby, loving you forever just isn't long enough. It has to be forever today at least. There's so many ways I want to say I love you. Like in the morning when I'm going to work. Girl, you know I'm thinking about you. When I'm halfway to work, girl, you're all I'm thinking about. And when I get to work, I start hurting for you. And I gotta get to that telephone just so I could hear your voice. So I could say, baby, I love you, baby. And I'm coming home right now because I'm hungry for your loving. As you see, I don't miss any meals, baby. Yeah. All I want to do, baby, is kiss you gently all over your face. Oh, yeah. Only you. me love you. Let me love you over and 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 over. Let me love you. Let me be your forever man, baby. Let me love you. Let me love you all over. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. God, thank you, Jesus Christ. Mercy.
All right, bro.
Thank you, RJ, and thank you also to your band.
Well, that wraps up our show for the evening. Until next time, I'm Ken.
And I'm Jacqueline. Thank you so much for listening to Eagle Radio International Los Angeles edition. Until next time, bye.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila. Inyong napakinggan ang mga programa ng Radyo Agila. Isang himpilang komersyal na pag-aari ng Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ang Radyo Agila ay may pahintulot ng National Telecommunications Commission, Station License Number DSD-0019-2010 at nagsasaimpapawid sa lakas na 40,000 watts. Ito ay sumasaimpapawid nationwide via our satellite stations 1080 kHz Dagupan, 1260 kHz Lucena, at 1224 kHz Davao. Ang aming studio ay matatagpuan sa number 25 Central Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City, at ang transmitter ay nasa Ubando, Bulacan. Ang Radyo Agila ay nasa ilalim ng pangangasiwang teknikal ng mga tauhan na pawang lisensyado ng Professional Regulation Commission at National Telecommunications Commission. Mabuhay! Ito ang Radyo Agila. Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang magiging lahat ng sinamanan, palang na puso, sa pitin mo'y buhay. Lupang hinilang, tulad ka ng mabibig, sa manlulunin, di na masisingin, sa lagat ng mundo, sa simula, sa langit mong baka, may dilagang tula, ang isang paglalalihan, ang isang wala, mo'y tapuan na natihiling, ang bito